What's up, my brother?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Eid Mubaraka.
Fadlai
Ta'ala. Yeah, viewers, you're most welcome for CHUKU CHUKU. This is the show that runs every single weekdays from 5 p.m. up to 7 p.m. So you're most welcome. And you know...
But fasting first?
Yes.
Mosh, are you fasting?
No, I'm not fasting. I don't want to lie. Yes, I got myself... actually, I was fasting, but I don't know what happened. I forgot that I was fasting, so I ended up eating. But I've just even broken my fast. Actually, it was just a mistake. By the time when I realized that today is fasting, but I've already...
Did you continue?
I did not continue because it was already late.
So now, if you are, all I know is that if you did not continue after realizing that you were fasting, you ate accidentally. Then you did not continue eating, and that's where you stopped, meaning that you
I didn't stop there because I knew that I'm somebody who believes in the fast way how we used to those days we used to say if we get a small cut,
the fasting has gone.
Even anything that maybe you abusing someone, the fasting is gone. Anything that you do, your fast
swallowing saliva.
So the fast goes. But nowadays people survive on saliva, by the way. So it's not easy. But I was fasting since morning. I've not eaten. After around the 2:40 something there, I don't know what came into my mind. I saw you were serving someone. I said, you also serve me this, brought for me food. I said, eating.
So you were already at the hotel.
I was not at the hotel.
Where were you? And of course, definitely. So if you see somebody being
someone, after serving someone, I said, you also give me food. So they gave me food. I started eating. I said, hey, today is fasting. I forgot. So that's how I
where were you? Were you not in the hotel?
I was within home.
Within home? So they were serving food within home?
Yes.
All right. All I know is that, like you did say those days, even if you have a small cat, definitely you just end up saying that, you have spoiled the fasting. But all with the little knowledge that I have about the deen of Islam, and of course, if you accidentally, if you happen to eat something where, happen to eat something accidentally, then you came to realize that today is fasting and you stopped there, and then, trust me, you can as well continue with your fasting because you can.
No. Sarge, let me tell you.
That's what I'm telling you. According to what the little knowledge that I have.
Listen. One thing that the Quran has no that version where it says that if you are fasting and you are forgotten, let me tell you, a sin is a sin. In Islam, a sin is a sin. It doesn't matter, by the way. For you saying that, hey, I've been fasting, then you have taken water, you have forgotten you have taken water, you are still fasting. No, you haven't. You have not. So there's nothing like that. Hey, for example, if maybe by accidental we maybe get angry, start fighting, I kill you. That is already a sin. Because my intention was not to kill you. My intention was to punish you.
There's a difference between
if I
killing.
end up, Andy, I'm giving an example. We are fighting because we are all hungry. You have annoyed me. Yeah? Now we are fighting with you. My intention was not to kill you. But after I maybe accidentally, I box you somewhere where maybe in a very bad place you just die. That means that there's nothing you're going to tell God that, hey, I was trying to defend myself, what and so on. My friend, that's the sin.
And of course, anasta barna alfiga inna sawedana jukele mto kumkulu gali narede anas fisahim. And of course, anas Milan kalasa bido araka psuluwai wai tomon itakan dorf bana be illa be sawede wai tagili gugali anas figiraka suluwai wai. Then idi tasabade tabukrade manato yomta idi kebirden kalama alfinjere nade yomal gata fogu galamoyo. Ita kanindi godra tagatagala moyo tabagde gatagala moyo tagiwirina nas miskin ya itagain sabaje idi kebide bada sala jere manato ga bidu daba manato sabafi yom ta daba gala moyo. Tomorrow is a day of slaughtering. You understand? Sacrifice. Remember back then the story of
Isaac.
Of Isaac.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Where God wanted him. Yeah. Where God wanted him to sacrifice his only son that he has been, he stayed for so many years without even giving having a child for himself. So God decided to give him a child.
Actually, you
Then-
brought the story from very
let me
far.
first give it.
You would have said, after giving birth with Sarah at the age of 80, you can imagine around, was it 80?
Yeah, 80.
Yes, 80 and above.
Then you are asked
So
to sacrifice
the
your
only
child.
begotten son, Isaac, you can imagine
You are
such
asked to
a
sacrifice.
faithful man, a faithful prophet.
And of course, giving us back to that, you are asked to sacrifice the child that you got at the age of, let me say, the late, at the age of 80, and you are asked to sacrifice that child.
The only
One you have, the only, let me say, the heir to your inheritance. And of course, you are asked to sacrifice that kind of person because of the faith that Abraham had. And of course, he has to go ahead, and accept, accept to sacrifice the son. And of course, God brought,
a sheep.
In the sign of telling him that, actually, this is what I was meaning. You understand? So definitely, at the verge of slaughtering his child, God, a sheep appeared, then, and of course, with some voice, telling him that this is exactly. So now, that's why Idi Kebir comes from, Idi al-Dua. That's where it comes from. So it's
I do not know as such you are a good preacher. Eh?
It's a
you
day.
are a good imam. Eh? It's just a sheikh. You
actually,
can preach like that.
actually, I attended Madarasa. You understand?
Where?
In our village.
Up to what class?
Yeah,
Up to what
leave
class?
along that class. At least I have that. So now that was this is the time.
Me, I stopped in P1.
So this is the time where you
Things were hard. Things were hard.
Things were hard, of course.
Yes.
There's a
When
lot
you
of
used to
canes.
use so that
There's a lot of canes when you are in Madarasa.
Eh.
A lot of canes. It's not like this other normal education. They teach you in a very hard way. You understand?
And now the challenge here is when you are learning a madrasa, there's a lot of things, reading the alphabetical A, B, C, C,
The Juzu.
those ones there. Learning them is
The
very hard.
Alif.
But now, me, I had a challenge. I stopped in P1 by the way, in madrasa. I don't want to lie, people. I stopped in P1. And the reason was, it was a little bit hard. One of the things that I found in madrasa was that when we try to learn, by the way, I was just here in Arua Islamic here. Madrasa, by the way, you just being only in P7, it means a lot. P7 alone, being in P7.
Leave along P7, even P4.
Even P4 there, it means a lot because there are a lot of things that you need to learn.
True.
Concerning the religion.
So about Idi Dua, so tomorrow, if you have the potential, if you have the strength, you can slaughter. You understand?
Not the strength. Stronger than
It's
the
a
money.
must, but for a Muslim to slaughter, you give it to the ones who are lacking, like you give it out to the
it's
people.
a day that we need to celebrate Eid. But now one thing that I want us to understand is how Eid is celebrated, because like for us in the entertainment circles, or how do we celebrate Eid? For example, are we going to be in
a disco hall?
In a disco hall.
But I love the fact that here in Arua, things have turned upside down. There's a way people gives the time, to God. Like moving out at night. They don't. You understand? And a few does that, but I've come to understand that they have started getting that thing, because partying does not get finished. You understand?
Actually, one thing that I love so much is during the Eid prayer, all the sheikhs, all the imams there and the district card, they already insist how they always show Muslims how to celebrate Eid. Yeah, Eid Adha is a Eid of sacrifice. You need to at least, if you have some money, you can buy a goat, you can buy a cow, you can buy, so long. Depends on how much maybe you are ready to whatever. Then one thing that I love so much, especially the district card, Aruam, you find that he always preach to the Muslims how to celebrate Eid. One, he always tell that you guys, you'll have wasted the year Eid by going to the disco places, going to these happening places. It's not along the line of
it's haram.
It's haram. So I think, and the good thing, people of Arua, they are so good in whether they listen to that. They say, okay, one day if I don't go out, doesn't matter. So you find that most Muslims, most of them, they don't go out on that very day. They know they respect the Eid. They make sure let it go. Even 2 days is not much. The next day, or maybe on Sunday, I can go back.
But even the next day, why would you go out? Because by the people think that Eid, the first Eid is the biggest one. But trust me, this one is the biggest. Because you will not say that because you fasted for 30 days, that one is bigger than this one. No. This Eid al-Duha is the most, let me say,
it is the biggest.
It's the biggest.
Actually, the fasting and the other thing that maybe I want to, maybe the viewers understand, if you're a Muslim outside there, the fasting is only 1 day.
1 day.
But remember
and
tomorrow,
the second day,
no,
you will
tomorrow, before the prayers,
before the prayer, you are not allowed to eat.
Yeah, you're not allowed to eat. You have to fast. You have fast. Now after the prayer, that's when you can go and break your fast. That's how the Eid is.
So now to the people out there, and that mute wo kuchetengenya Eid madit any on watch you yani we could ni do ne edar perom tinu te saim and test in Eid madit any benyuti yani amanda cheng sama ikaram kadma eche story pa Abraham kani winju onwangere ania Abraham bedu ngati boko munyol rengo paka I oru piera bora kabongo binimi yiri nyatina chel kende makulong maju wacho tie kulong kumando miri nyatina chel ugami dogi miri atema twin yani ino chala mi nyatin manono ana be miri sacrifice kudi bengi abe miri sacrificing nyati pirno ene gamu wacho lemo kude pechal ini mungi mira ini katini gamu wacho le in kukumi yani makatima ngonde amie nitier wek ande de dong wek miti periti mangonde wek miti periti mere Abraham gami tingu nyati para Isaac gami tingu wacho anda Mungu inanda kai penja nda iwacho ina mako achiel mimi ire wacha mie irive abe chi mie ire game penja nyatin ine de iu nyatin gam wacho yich pa Mungu the child also said if God's willing it's okay but what you're going to do
but again
listen much what the child said dad what you're going to do make sure that the knife should be very sharp. The knife should be sharp enough that I'm not going to feel the pain. You understand? That's why you see in most cases when you're slaughtering, make sure that the knife is sharp. So now then, secondly, make sure that you turn my face down.
So I don't see.
So that I don't see your face, because if I'm to see your face, you'll look at that sympathy. You understand? And you will cry. Yeah? You will cry, and when you cry, the sacrifice will not be accepted. So now, you, as God accepted that you should sacrifice me, I am ready to be sacrificed.
Actually, say if it's the will of God,
if it's the will of God,
ahead.
Go ahead and sacrifice.
Then the other thing I wanted to say is that this version of Abraham, Isaac, and Sarah, this is something that is written in the Bible, even in the Quran, all over. So this celebration here, I think, is a good one to all of us, the Christian community and the Muslim community, because this is a Eid of sacrifice. It's even written in the Bible. So I think that let us celebrate together, the Christian community and the Muslim community. Let us celebrate together because it's a big day. It's a public holiday.
It's a public holiday.
Not even in Uganda, in the whole world.
The whole world is the public holiday.
Yes.
So now for the Muslims out there, please endure to call upon your friends and slaughter. Even if you used to slaughter at your home, you cook, then you call friends. This time around, slaughter and you give them.
And Saja, I think tomorrow we shall come here. We shall be discussing how to celebrate Eid. Based on mean that one of the things I want us to understand how it is celebrated, and that's what the youth outside there who are watching this show here, don't spoil your Eid, because the only day is the only day that
you have.
Yes, of course. We always sin, we move in sin, so we keep on committing sin day and night. So the only day that we can maybe give back to God, we need to understand that God exists. That's the reason why we are breathing. Imagine if this air that we are breathing
paid for.
It has been paid for. Like how maybe if you want to eat something, you have to go and buy.
You're going to the buy, you need to buy, you need to pay.
That's the reason why I always say God exists. People who don't believe God exists, I don't know where they get their concept from, but me, I still feel that. Because now, you see, for sure, the air that you are breathing,
you're not paying for.
You're not paying for it, and it's abundantly. Everywhere you reach, whether you are in Kampala, whether you're in the UK, there's the way how God has created us in a very unique way. So I really like to appreciate every person who is watching this show here. Understand that tomorrow is Eid al-Duha.
Mosh, let me tell you something. If you really want to know that God loves you, go to the hospital. Yeah? go to the hospital, and then you will know that God really loves you so much. Even if you're outside here, you have not eaten or drank any water. Thank God. I've been moving. Last week I went to the hospital, and today I went to the hospital. Actually, I saw what is in the hospital
actually,
there.
one thing that I would also say is on ED Day, I remember the other last ED, we had a program with us and the Big Brother and the rest and the likes of LP Shadi, the celebrities by the in Arua, the ones who are Muslims. We are moving around, we are moving, visiting people, different people. We went even to the prison, we visited some of the prisoners who were down there in Arua prison. We came back and we had a program of going to the hospital to visit the sick one and give them some ED, some small ED. You know, those people, they're also there. They don't have anything to eat because they're not working. So that's another way how you can celebrate your ED. You need to go to the hospital. Those people there in the hospital, I'm telling you, don't need to say that I'm going there because Saj is there or Mosh is there. I know them. No. You just come the whatever the hospital. You find out anybody say, you know, I brought some small thing for you. Even sugar, a mere sugar just for 1 kilogram. It's enough. You just go and distribute to people in the hospital. That's the way how we can celebrate our ED. Than even going to the, you go and to dance in the club. It's not good. So
it's not good.
It's only the only day. Let us postpone maybe our behavior.
Actually, the whole of the
I'm
weekend.
insisting behavior change. So behavior change for
the whole of the weekend.
It is for 3 days, by the way.
3 days.
Yes. Yeah.
So meaning that tomorrow you are praying, you are going for prayer. Saturday you need to be home. Keep praying.
No, the good thing is that on tomorrow we shall be eating our own food that we have cooked. Then the next day we shall be visiting
other people.
And
for
eat
3
from there.
days.
Yes, we go and eat from other people's area. Also, they come to our area. Like for example, Saj. Tomorrow you'll be eating at your home, isn't it? I'll be eating at my home. Then I can say, Saj, tomorrow I say, Saj, you're welcome. This Saturday. I say, Saj, you come. We are still celebrating Eid. You come at my place. We enjoy Eid together. The same applies to me. Then the next day on Sunday, then I go and visit your place. That's how they say it's for 3 days.
It's for 3 days. And of course, we have been breaking to you down how you are supposed to celebrate Eid, and of course how Eid Dua came to exist, and how you are supposed to sacrifice, slaughter. Tomorrow is a day of slaughtering. Even if it's a chicken slaughter, and you give me one, what do you call it? This one. In our language, you call it goke. And then baden. Arapapa. Slaughter your chicken. If you cannot afford the goat, slaughter the chicken. Give me the arapapa that Mosh said, and give another one the third night, so that you will celebrate the days. And of course, it's a TBT throwback Thursday. We call it Super Thursday. And of course, let's go for a music break. When we bounce back, we shall be giving you some of the celebrity news, and of course, gossip. We're talking about the legendary guys, and of course, let's go for the music now. Yes, just to show people that whatever you do, make sure that you first make a footsteps. You know, because definitely behind the scene there's someone who is looking at it the other way around. But of course, a bad man. So what's up, Mosh? You are laughing. What is that thing that?
Probably, I'm not got you. Come again.
And of course, you know, as I was saying, bad mind people everywhere, you know, whatever you do, you should always be knowing that there's somebody behind it there, you know, that is looking at you and saying a lot of things. Then you started laughing as if I'm also another bad mind.
Yeah, Saj, it's true. Bad mind, that's a true story. Why I'm saying it's a true story is that, you know, every person on this earth has an enemy. Some people may hate you because of what they heard from a friend. Someone may hate you maybe because of your mistakes that you have, maybe which you have, maybe it has cost him. So there are so many things that's why people hate. But I have a feeling that forgiveness is the way to go. In this world here, if you don't forgive, and you'll never be forgiven. So in bad mind people, it's a real story. Bad mind people, that is the Lucky D.
And Laxi Mover.
Then a Laxi Mover.
So they are the bad mind people. Lucky D is a bad mind person.
No,
and
actually,
Laxi Mover.
yes, Laxi Mover and Lucky D, they are the guys who have come, who have that content about the bad mind people. I don't know what happened to them. I think maybe it is a true story.
Somebody
Especially Lucky D, I know he has faced so many challenges within the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why I'm saying that it's a true story. Because one time I was trying to hear some of the story that people talk and people even from him.
Remember the other story that Franco gave us? His music journey. Look when you mean. Remember, you still recall the stories, how hard it was for him to penetrate the industry.
Yes, it was really so hard. But again, I'm seeing people who are real, like people like us, presenters, DJs, and so on. We have a lot of work. We need to relate with all these artists. Otherwise, I don't see someone. Actually, yesterday I was somewhere. I don't want to mention the place. I saw someone, very easy man, was moving around. Somebody just told me, do you know this guy? I said, no. He told me this is a very big man. But you cannot realize he lives in a simple life, dressed in a casual way. So always, I can just say, don't undermine or estimate people. Reason being that these are the same people who help you maybe tomorrow. So an artist who comes to you trying to ask for your help, please
give the help.
You help him. It doesn't mean that you never know what tomorrow will tell.
But of course, I'm talking about that. You know, why I did come with that. You know, bad mind people everywhere. You know, I'm just like trying to, because when you look at relating, yeah, when you look at the music those days, people used to sing about sorrow, yeah. Sorrow and the actual things that are happening, you know, on the ground. But now, as we speak, the music has turned itself upside down. You know, now, you know, they used to sing about sorrows, but now people have started doing the bad mind. You know how people feel. You know, the kind of heart that people have for another one, because for one other, because those days, you know, people will sing like the likes of James Kennedy. You know. Look barala mingwaya, yeah. You get that song, and the lights of Bob Gundi, Lucky D, you know, tinka pinyuru dokurbo pinyutum kudito ingera, kutpa mom kugire pinzo kugire. Meaning that today, if you happen to wake up and you see that side doesn't have anything, don't laugh at me, yeah. You should wait. The world has its own plan, and you have your own plan. Kurba ngom kugire, pinzo kugire. So you have your own plan, and the life itself also plans its own.
Yeah, true.
You know, net the lives of Bush the King. You know, Lucky again and Brio. Those are the things. Then Bush the King was also another one. You know. That is talking about mentioned by the few, but there are very many guys who have been singing, you know, some motivation songs. But when you look at right now, the music has turned down. So now, this is the point that I'm trying to, you know, prick at. When you're to relate the type of music that we used to do those days and the current music, where do you put the music that we used to do those days?
Yeah, of course, music. This is a very big topic to discuss. And I don't feel that we have enough time to discuss this. But
of course, we can give the hint.
Yes, of course, one thing I want to say is that way back, music was seen as one of the, you know, first of all, you being a musician, they have that perception of saying that you look like in school, especially. At the university level, when you are doing a dance and music, dance and drama, MDD, you look like someone who is a failure, someone who has not achieved maybe in education. So that's how they used to see most of the musicians. And I remember, you know me, I grew up in Kampala. I remember in one time they used to call me Abadongo. Abadongo means those are the, you know, okubera fala, somebody who is of low standard. That's how they used to see these musicians here. So another thing I want to say about if I'm to relate the old music and the new music is that people of that time, they used to sing music. It was the real music. They used to sing music because of the love they had for music. But this time here, people enter into music because they know it's a business, there's money. So they end up doing music, they only end up doing music that is taking them to the stage to perform and get money. There's nothing like right now that someone comes and says, let me sing, and I don't need to go and perform. Very few people can do that. That I'm singing for them because I love the music. I don't see them. What people nowadays they do is, someone sings when he gets one hit like this, he wants to move the whole country to find out, maybe he wants to find market for his music and move the whole country. So in all, what I'm trying to say is that in music way back, people used to sing because of the love they have for the music. This time here, people sing because they know it is a professional work. It's something that is something that brings money. So they sing to go to the stage and make money.
So they sing to go to the stage to make money, and that is the current music.
Yes.
That we.
Then the other thing is the preparations. I think preparations right now, because of the technology, I can say we don't prepare enough. Our preparation is only a person can just jump on the studio and do some freestyle, and the music is recorded. And you will find that I will say 50% or 60% of the artists, they don't have time to. Even some of these artists have forgotten the lyrics of their music. By the way, people have forgotten some of the lyrics of the music. Especially, I remember, I don't want to say about this artist. One time, that is told like this someone I've forgotten the lyrics of the song. When you're doing one draw, please leave this one, let it go. But the ones which I know the lyrics, it's okay, you can do the one draw because I know the lyrics. I can remember the real lyrics. So you can imagine such an artist. So one is the technology. Right now, even me personally, even you, Serge, you can become a musician, you can become an artist, you go to the studio, you sing, now leave the whole work in the hands of the producer. It is him to know that this thing needs to fit here. There's the way how they do the adjustment. They do whatever the adjustment whereby we have sung off key, but it makes sure it is fit. It fits the beat. So there's a lot of work. Actually, these producers here, we need to appreciate them. Reason being that what really they are doing is so good. There are so many people who don't even qualify to be musicians. But they are qualified because of the producers in the studio.
But of course, if you ask
I don't know whether it's true. This time here, so many people don't qualify to be musicians.
By the way, when you look,
is because of the production.
Because of the production. But let me tell you something. You see, producers are doing a lot of work when it comes to the music bit of it. Let me say production. Producers are doing a lot of work, and the artists, as much as they're also doing a lot of work, and of course there's a way producer get the when artist steps on the microphone, there's a way producer guides them. You understand? There's a way the producer guides them. I believe that the producer that are supposed to be paying money for these guys.
Producer, yeah.
Most especially the guys who are upcoming.
They guide you, but the challenge here is, at the beginning of singing.
There's always challenges.
There are always challenges in everything, by the way. Even DJing personally. When I started doing scratches, it was not coming well. But I had to stick on that because I know that's what you wanted. Yeah, that's what I want. So basically, I would say some of us here would have been musicians, but we decided to take another direction. Yeah, we're taking another direction of being a DJ.
But Mosh, me, if you ask me, I will only tell you that I will only tell you one thing, that you see. Weighing the music back then and the current music right now. Yes, first we understand that the media has helped a lot, because back then there was no media.
Yeah, that's one of the points.
Back then there was no media where you could fight. When you release a good song, you need to move. You need to move. You distribute those songs in tapes. You download them in tapes, and you need to move and record them. You sell them. That was one way or the other of moving your music. And then secondly, there was, like you did say something that, when you get to the studio, whatever you give out at the studio is what comes out. There's nothing like filtering. There was nothing like that.
I remember I was asking one of my friends, I don't want to mention his name, who was telling me about the music way back. He told me, first of all, before you storm the studio to do recording, you are only given some hours to do your recording. So everything is recorded live. The guitarist, the guy of the drum, what everything is done. Actually, I can remember even those days of Nyakuta Innocent, New Breed Band, where they used to do some, where they had some recording studio around the some place around the transport road down there. That's where they used to have their studio. I remember way back when there was a Mapengo, DJ Ronnie, the like of Yorkman, the like of Nyakuta Innocent, the like of Totoa. I was a very young boy, but very sharp because I was already a DJ, but very young at tentative age. So I used to go there, see how they do their recording. Actually, Chikili was recorded. Chikili was one of the hits that was recorded in that studio. Chikili, Chaya. Yeah, that's one of the songs that was recorded in the studio there, within your New Breed Band there. So, first of all, you as an artist, before you go to the studio to record your song, you need to be very, very, very perfect. You have to perfect everything. Singing, flowing on the beat, and other things. So it was not an easy task. Reason being that any slight mistake you do, the whole process is repeated.
It's repeated again.
So you find it was a very tedious time, because tedious work, because the technology was very, very, very. It was really very. Let me say, the technology was not good enough to make sure that maybe this time of editing was not there. So any mistake you make, we repeat the whole process. You can see now how people were sweating. Yes.
But of course, if you ask me, I was yet in telling you how back then, and of course at the current, because those days, when you look at artists when they are going to perform of late, when you look at them, there's a way they have changed. You understand? Those days, artists could go on stage with those torn clothes. When you're back here, it's torn. The shoes itself, from nowhere you find your shoes. Those torn shoes, without socks, all torn. So, but of late, when you look at the, let me say the fashion, and this fashion has also improved a lot in the music industry, because when talking about that, we have seen a couple of guys whose life has changed. You see, guys, when they're getting on the stage, the first thing, even before the promoter gives them their money, they will first think of how am I going to look on the stage.
Yeah, the brand.
The brand. But those days, they will not think of that. Once they're called on the stage, they will not even mind about how I look. But of late, you will find an artist before looking good. The artist prefers looking good than the money that is going to be paid to give out the people, to the people out there.
That is the artists we are receiving.
And the current amount of money
the current amount right now, which artists they are getting. I'm telling you right now, artists are really blessed in a way that the business has become big in terms of earning. Actually, most artists here, I can tell you, most artists here, they are really successful. They have built houses, they are driving, they are living a very, let me say, good life, like a luxurious life. So I would say, when you compare the lifestyle that those early artists lived and the artists right now, the life they are living in, you'll find that the difference is very clear and very big. Especially, I think right now an artist, just a mere show, one show like this, you can be getting millions of money.
One show?
Yes, one show like this. But I remember way back, we used to have guys who used to perform, at the most, it was around at the most, it was 150. In a crew.
Back then?
Yes, 150 in a crew. But this is the man that can be, I don't know how to term it. I remember way back, Camille came to Annex Gardens here. Way back, Camille came here at 800,000. But I'm telling you right now, Jose Camille can never come to Arua at 800,000.
Less than 5 million.
Let me tell you, Camille came to Annex Garden, that is early 2000, at
800,000.
800,000.
So now, as we
it is
speak,
Richard who paid him, and he came and performed in Annex Garden. So this one shows us that why I'm bringing this example here is because I can show you how those days how the artists used to struggle so much. But I can now imagine. Sometimes people always like compare. That's already I said Chameleon is my best artist. People don't know why I'm saying that. I'm saying that because Camion by the way back when they used to sing music, there was no internet.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But now the Banner Boys, whom they are saying the African giant, they start their music when there is what? Internet. So people can have access to their music at any time. So that period where Camion was very, 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 very active. Let me say when he had the likes of Mamma Mia, the likes of Jamila, the likes of so many hits, if there was internet by then.
But Kipepeo came when at least a bit the gamers, you know, when the gamers started
now
changing.
let me show you one thing that in Uganda here, in the internet, most especially internet, what they call internet, people learning about Facebook, learning about these other platforms.
Yeah.
It is just in 2010,
10.
12, 13 there, people to understand the internet.
But around 10, some people are already. You know,
yes, but at low, even up to now, there are some people even right now who live behind the scene. They don't know what's happening in the world.
And of course, that is all about that. What we, talking about, weighing the music back then. We used to have music back then, but of course, the way of distribution of distributing the music had been so much difficult. Where you need to move personally. Even the mere production alone, you really need to be so keen when you're given chance to do your production, to record. You don't need to make mistakes, because one mistake may lead to the repeating of everything that maybe the guitarist, you repeat everything, and it was really so costly. But now,
and imagine,
as we speak,
imagine now that one producer has taken the work of almost 10 or 5 people.
5 people.
Because here you have to have a keyboard who is playing a keyboard. Me, I'm talking something that I saw. Way back when I was young, very young, but I was already a DJ at the age of around 11 years, 12, I was already a DJ. I remember that time when I went to New Breed Band. You remember that we used to have back singers, the like of Yorkman in New Breed Band, the likes of DJ Ronnie, the likes of Steve.
Yeah, as we wrap up,
Steve for him, he was what? He was a DJ. But the likes of Toto was the guitarist, the bass guitar. He was the one.
So in short, you're trying to say.
In short, what I'm trying to say is that. All these members here, they don't do. They are coming to sing and they are going to record. So they are going to play their guitars. They are going to play their instruments. So you will find that a work that now our producer does is a work that many people were doing by then. Yeah, 5 people. Actually, the guitar, the guy who plays the drums, and so many things. So you can imagine now that one. And the one now who is now doing the recording at the same time.
So now, yeah, because of the time factor, Mosh did say it earlier that it's really a topic that will take us it's a lengthy topic. Big. Yeah, but of course, because of the time factor, I want to tell you that the producer right now, they're doing work that those days are done by so many people, in the industry. But now, what do you have to do right now, as a person who is out there trying to do the thing? So now, be knowing that whatever you're doing right now, back then 10 people were the one doing it just as a producer. So we do need to give the round of applause to the producers, the current producer, but because of the internet and the rest of the things. But back then we had nothing. But what do you have to say? And of course, away from that, our brother, that is one of the legendary artists in the name of Kingsboy. As we speak, the guy got an accident yesterday, but as we speak right now, he got a problem with the dental, yeah? His teeth were broken and some entered inside, so it needs to be pulled out. So for the people out there, for the guys who are so touchy, it's really high time that we really need to be, let's leave along. This is a Lukbara, this is Analur. As long as you are in the industry, we really need to push, to push for help. We need to help each other. As I speak right now, the guy is in Arua Referral Hospital.
That's where actually, the association comes in. We already have an association here for the musicians, and I think the chairperson, Ebi Hanzi, needs to get this information very clear and put it there on his wall so people can see. The other artist within the hospital, referral hospital, he got an accident, as my brother said. So our leaders, James Kennedy, Ebi Hanzi, JJ Shuru, please, this information, if you're not aware, Sajja has really, I think he has put it right. Let's get how we can help him. He's really in need of our help.
Yeah, living along this thing.
This is how we are going to. This is how we're supposed to work, and that's the reason why the association is existing. I think that is that.
Yeah, and of course, we should leave this thing whereby this is an allure. It should go to the other side of allure association.
No,
No,
what you're saying has not been existing. I think we West Nilers
we are always united.
We are united because.
So, and of course, this is the right time for us to prove to the world that some people always, they have the other perspective in their minds. This is the right time for us to, to show the world that we are West Nilers. Or we are Northerners. We are guys in the Greater North, so we don't discriminate. We always do the right thing at the right time. As we speak right now, the guy is really in the rural referrals hospital, the main hospital, and we call upon the guys. Any that your hands can pull out. Yeah, let's come together. We do that, and we hope the current situation right now as we speak. And of course, it has been a wonderful time from me to you and the entire team of CHUKU CHUKU, not living along the production guys behind there. We want to say thank you so much. And for the Muslim brothers, what do I have to say? Eid Mubarak. Eid Mubarak to all the Muslim fraternity. Eid Mubarak. And of course, tomorrow it's a Eid day. Let's wake up very early in the morning because the prayer always starts at 8:30. 8:30, by 9 the prayer is done. Then you can go and do the rest of the things that you feel like you should do. Make sure that you slaughter, you invite, you give out. That is the only time that you have. And for the rest of the guys, please, after praying, don't just go and waste your prayer with you go, it. The party animals.
It will come back to you.
Yeah.
We can help. Hours we have done our work. I think
the rest.
Yeah, God has given us some tick there for passing out the message. We have
Only
told you
3
the
days.
best way how to celebrate Eid.
Only 3 days.
It is here. It is now up to you to decide whether to go and do other things. Manyanga.
Oh, you stay indoors.
Then no, it is just we cannot judge anybody. Yeah.
All right, from us to you, it's a bye-bye. See you till tomorrow. But remember, tomorrow we're gonna be having Andona 256, the sweetest look bar around town, as we celebrate.